A man programmed an artificial intelligent Tinder bot to filter through thousands of women's profiles to find the perfect match. Someone he could eventually call his wife. Now, do you want to find out why this guy created this tool and how it creepily asked one woman to meet him in the woods for their first date? Well, by the end of this video, you'll learn all of that and more. Plus, you'll find out how you can set up your very own AI Tinder dating bot so you can find your dream girl or guy. Aleksandr Zhadan is the name of the guy who created this AI speed dating tool. A few years ago, his girlfriend broke up with him. He was heartbroken, depressed, and didn't know where to turn. And in those moments of despair and hopelessness, he took out his phone from his pocket and busted open Tinder. He realized he needed to take action, get out of his heartbroken rut, and try to find someone new. Someone that would truly love him for who he was. He eventually swiped right on a bunch of promising young ladies, and that led to a few in-person dates. The problem was he kept matching women who loved chugging alcohol and being drunk all day. Not his kind of woman. Not only that, but a lot of these ladies showed signs of emotional instability with weird mood swings throughout their date. You know, pretty much par for the course on Tinder. Not a real shocker exactly. This Tinder experiment didn't last long though. He was sick of wasting his time meeting a bunch of whack jobs. He knew there had to be a better way. Luckily, Aleksandr had a computer programming background, which led him to a brilliant idea. What if he could use AI and code to screen dates for him before he meets them in person? That way, he could filter out all the crazy drunk chicks and find the ones that had real wifey potential. It would save him hours of time by avoiding in-person dates that weren't going anywhere anyways. And that's exactly what Aleksandr did. He did this with the help of his friend who had access to the ChatGPT API at the time. He used OpenAI's chatbot in a couple different ways. Most importantly, he used it to search Tinder profiles that fit his personality. He then had the program automatically swipe right on those profiles. Once there was a match, the tool started chatting with the woman on Tinder auto-magically. The prompt behind this magic was, "You're a guy talking to a girl for the first time. Your task, not right away, but to invite them on a date." The problem was that ChatGPT was terrible at this at first. The program was swiping right on women who Aleksandr never found attractive. Plus, the starter conversations it generated were super awkward and weird. One time, and after only 3 messages back and forth, the program asked the girl if she wanted to go on a date with him in the woods. Super creepy. Another time, the program promised to bring flowers and chocolates on the first date. Well, Aleksandr showed up empty-handed. And long story short, she never talked to him again after that date. The bottom line was that the program couldn't carry out a conversation of more than 5 messages on Tinder. And any more than 10 messages, the girls got weirded out and completely stopped talking to Aleksandr's clone. It was as if they were talking to Jeffrey Dahmer or something. The ChatGPT chatting logic was that bad. So it was back to the drawing board. Aleksandr didn't want to come off as a serial killer, so he rewrote some of the prompts. And he also got lucky because ChatGPT 4 got released. This made conversations with his matches much more natural and less likely to scare them off. On top of that, he made tweaks within his program. He programmed it to filter out any woman with less than 2 photos in their profile and any that said, "I don't communicate here," right on Instagram, any that listed their profession as unemployed, any matches that lived 15 miles from him, and any woman who had revealing profile pics, like ones wearing skimpy clothing. I'll let your imagination figure out why. Then he installed photo recognition software called Torch Vision that automatically matched women based on his history of Tinder likes. And this started changing everything. The program started matching women that Aleksandr was actually attracted to. And above all, it generated natural conversations with matches. Conversations that lasted more than just 10 messages back and forth. The program was becoming more and more real and human-like to talk to. And that paid off for this heartbroken guy. At that point, the program matched 278 potential partners and continued talking to 160 of them. That's right, this guy was simultaneously dating 160 women all at one time, all without talking or even messaging one of them by himself. AI was doing all of this on its own for him. This guy was the definition of a gigolo. But imagine if you were one of these women. They were essentially falling in love with a robot, Aleksandr's clone. Just so weird. The story takes a strange turn though. You see, Aleksandr tried turning off his AI chatbot and decided to message his matches himself on Tinder, human to human. The kicker is that these women didn't like the real Aleksandr, and a bunch of them ghosted him and dropped off the face of the earth. Pretty ironic, don't you think? They liked the AI version of Aleksandr better than the real one. So with that failed attempt to be real, he turned the AI software back on, and the automated conversation started humming along again. He even added a new feature where the AI would schedule in-person dates with his matches and put them on his calendar automatically. When a date was scheduled, he copied all the prior automated chats with that particular girl and put them into ChatGPT. He then asked ChatGPT to summarize their virtual history. ChatGPT would then highlight all the important conversations that they had. It would let him know the most important things they talked about. Aleksandr could then go on the date pretending like he was the one that was speaking to them on Tinder. He could do this because he studied the chat history and ChatGPT's highlights, and in large part, it worked flawlessly. He usually met his matches 1 to 3 times before realizing if it was a good match or not. And on any given week, he had dates scheduled with 4 different women. Speed dating on steroids. Aleksandr's AI Tinder bot eventually started matching over 5,239 women and setting up over 100 dates for him. But everything soon changed when Aleksandr met Karina on Tinder with his automated bot. He described her as pretty, cheerful, and independent. He fell head over heels for her and was in love. So he made the decision to shut down his AI Tinder program to focus on Karina. There's just one very weird thing that Aleksandr did. He shut down his program but continued to use ChatGPT to chat with Karina in real life. At one point, he told ChatGPT, "I need to maintain and improve my relationship with Karina." ChatGPT responded, and Aleksandr used its advice. Eventually, Aleksandr came clean to Karina and told her about his automated AI dating program. And at first, she was creeped out. She asked how many people he'd use this tool on. He brushed off this question, but Karina joked it was time for him to open a brothel. But she got over the creepiness. She said the initial conversations on Tinder are mostly about learning about potential partners' interests, hopes, and maybe their philosophies. So in this light, talking to an AI version of her new boyfriend wasn't that bad and was actually beneficial. I mean, if he didn't create this program, she would have never met him in the first place. Their relationship continued to hum. They moved in with each other and things were going well. And at that time, Aleksandr was still using ChatGPT for relationship advice with Karina. Looking for advice, he entered a few paragraphs of Karina and his dialogue into the chatbot. To Aleksandr's huge surprise, ChatGPT told him to ask Karina to marry him. Apparently, ChatGPT read between the lines of their dialogue, and it understood that when Karina said she wanted to go to someone's wedding, what she really meant is she wanted to be proposed to. With that, Aleksandr complied with ChatGPT as usual. He got down on one knee and asked Karina if she'd be his wife. And of course, she said yes. Now, you might be thinking, this is a freaking disturbing story. And it is, but it actually worked. So if you can get over the embarrassment of having an AI program to find your perfect match on Tinder, there's a tool that can do this for you right now. Just head over to cupidbot.ai and check it out for yourself. And I'm not affiliated with them or make any money from them in any way. And who knows, if you end up using this tool, it might just find your next wife or husband. That's it for tonight. If you want to learn more about AI and dating, check out my other vid, Create an AI girlfriend of your dreams, step-by-step tutorial. And if you found this video interesting, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and my free AI email newsletter at fry-ai.com/subscribe. Have a great night. This is Ryan signing out. Take care.